The lingering question is what happened to the Mayans and other original peoples in the Americas? And the Mayans seem to have had an advanced and very sophisticated society, but how did it disappear? And so there are many speculations out there. I will speculate too, but I think I'm a little more accurate than most of them. Now, it could be disease that really took them, and so on. Now, the Mayans, being special and perhaps distinguished themselves from other tribes around, did not sort of intermarry and what happened. So eventually, you find that the society was so small that everybody was related, and they keep marrying hands down and going down the line. And this inbreeding could cause the, say with the Chihuahua dogs, for example, you could breed any big dog down to a Chihuahua size because inbreeding definitely dwarfs and so on. Now, I'm not sure if the Chihuahuas also have mental problems and other health problems because of their sort of ancestral sort of origins. However, with the Mayans, the incest could cause them to have, sort of dwarfed or miniaturized, which you see still many, the native peoples from Latin America are shorter than usual, 4 feet, and so on. And this could have also lead to disease and mental sort of retardation, etc. And so they don't even know where they were. And so apart from making decisions that aren't prudent and smart because of the genetic problems and the ancestral sort of results, they also became short and disease wiped them out. So now, today in Latin America, I think that these governments that have native people should endeavor to, Australia and New Zealand and all them, America, Canada, everywhere, should ensure that they inject new blood into these peoples so that they could sort of survive. If time lasts long enough, they will become extinct because they're not having new people, new blood coming in. It's just the same family they're marrying into. So it hasn't changed basically. Now, when I was in Canada, the Inuit from North, one came into my office to do some business with me, and I thought he was a North Korean or some Korean. I said, "Are you from Korea?" He said, "No, I'm Inuit." Now, it's clear that these native peoples came from Asia. So it would behoove these governments that have native people to get children or reasonable age that could assimilate and acculturate into the Indian culture, inject these new bloods so that they could sort of survive, and not only be survive but be viable. In Australia, you see all they're doing is marrying one another, partying all day, drinking and doing dumb stuff. But if they were to make a concerted effort, an intelligent move to help these folks by bringing in new blood, I'm sure that they could sort of survive and still, have some dignity, etc. I'm even thinking that perhaps some of them who are brilliant should be taken out and trained in the major culture, the languages of the major culture and so on, and still keep roots and go to universities and do things like medicine and nursing and pharmacy and so on forth, so they could go back into the communities and sort of help them. Now, on the other hand, I mean, when some of these folks get an education, they get sophisticated and they just want to move away from traditional life, etc. But at least they should have a perpetual train of these going to higher education, but also having these folks free education, and they have to do a 5-year stint or whatever they would agree on, so that they could have a people that understand the culture and who could make recommendations that they will have confidence in as far as it goes to health and other sociological criteria and other difficulties that they may face. And so I challenge these governments that have these native Indian populations to inject new blood into these tribes by bringing in folks from Asia and help them to acculturate and to assimilate, and so that they could ensure that this great peoples do not just expire through the effects of sort of incest and the dwarfing and the mental retardation and the other maladies that have wiped out the Mayans.